Teal ribbons flow effortlessly throughout Michigan State University's campus. The ribbons serve as a reminder that while most students are gone for the summer, no one has forgotten the survivors of Larry Nassar. While campus is quiet and still, change is stirring up at the state capitol in Lansing as 28 bills just passed in the House of Representatives and the Senate.
The bills that we passed are the culmination of a lot of work over the past few months in both the House and Senate, all related to sexual assault. It ranges everywhere from changes to laws governing health professionals so they can't get away with sexual abuse under the guise of medical treatment, making sure mandatory reporters are properly trained, making sure that we work with universities to improve their response to sexual assault, making sure that children receive education in school about sexual assault and available resources. So it really is a range of reforms that we hope will help to change the culture around sexual assault in Michigan.
While State Representative Stephanie Chang said that all of the bills passed with very strong bipartisan support, State Representative Adam Zemke said he wasn't in favor of one particular bill.
The only bill that I didn't support because it only provided a retroactive statute of limitations for essentially the victims of Larry Nassar. And in reality, I think that if you're going to have retroactive statute of limitations available to victims, it should be all victims. I'm of the opinion that we should have a very victim-friendly statute of limitations, because it is not fair, in my opinion, to put arbitrary numbers on the number of years that a victim should have in order for them to be able, particularly on the criminal side, to go after a perpetrator. There's a high criminal standard for prosecution, and in order to prove that bar, it shouldn't depend on the victim meeting an arbitrary deadline set by the legislature.
While bills passed by the House await approval from the Senate and bills passed by the Senate await approval from the governor, Michigan State University is making strides towards finding a new president. On May 29th, Michigan State's Board of Trustees announced it hired University of Virginia President Teresa Sullivan to help search for a new president. While it's uncertain when a new president would take over, students hope the new president can rebuild Michigan State and improve its reputation.
Qualities that I would hope for the next president would hopefully be someone who is a lot more understanding of the circumstances and can get a better hold on the university. Hearing all the things that have been happening here has just been really disappointing as a student that goes here, so I'm hoping someone who can take more action and take more charge and hopefully change the things that our former president and even our interim president really haven't been doing.
I definitely do think that the steps that we take within the next year will define how we're seen as the future.
Former Michigan State President Luanna Simon spoke before a U.S. Senate subcommittee on June 5th and was quoting telling senators that she was horrified about Larry Nassar's crimes and that she would have taken immediate actions against him had she known. Michigan State University reached a $500 million settlement with the survivors of Larry Nassar. While it's expected to use insurance money to field some of the costs, Michigan State students and taxpayers are likely to pay for it.
I don't understand why the students have to pay for it. It was not any of the students' fault that happened. It was the university and the university's faculty and staff that did nothing about it and knew it was going on. So if anything, I think that it should come out of more of the university's budget instead of the students, even though I know students do pay a lot of money for tuition here and everything that goes on this campus, but it shouldn't be put in the students' laps to pay for the victims. It should be put on the university itself.
In Lansing and East Lansing, Kayleigh, Garrison, HOMTV.